Let me ask you something. When was the last time you went for a walk, came home, and still felt like your legs were heavy or tired? Even though everyone says walking is the best exercise, here's the truth. After 60, the body starts changing in ways most people, even many doctors, never talk about. And believe it or not, there's one simple exercise that can be even more powerful than walking for your energy, your circulation, and your balance. It's completely joint friendly, safe for most people, and it takes less than 2 minutes a day. I'm here today to guide you through exactly what that movement is, why it works, and how it can help you stay strong, confident, and independent at any age. So, let's dive in together. For decades, we've been told that walking is the gold standard, the perfect exercise. And don't get me wrong, walking is wonderful. It gets you outside, it moves your body, it lifts your spirits. But here's something most people don't realize. Walking alone doesn't fully engage some of the most important muscles your body relies on for stability, circulation, and lasting energy. Think about it this way. When you walk, your legs carry you forward, yes, but the deeper muscles, the ones that pump blood back up from your feet, the ones that keep you balanced when you stand still or shift your weight, those muscles often get only a gentle nudge. They wake up just a little, but they never fully engage. And after 60, when circulation naturally slows down and muscle activity decreases, that gentle nudge just isn't enough anymore. Now, I want you to know something important. If you've been walking faithfully, following all the advice, doing what you've been told is right, you've been doing a good thing. This isn't about telling you that you've wasted your time. Not at all. It's about showing you that there's a missing piece, a powerful piece that can take everything you're already doing and make it even better. Because once you understand what that missing piece is, you'll feel the difference in your legs, your balance, and your energy within just a few weeks. So, if walking alone isn't the full picture, what's missing? Let's go deeper, literally. Deep inside your lower leg, tucked beneath the larger calf muscle you can see in the mirror, there's a muscle that most people have never even heard of. It's called the soleus, and scientists and cardiologists are now calling it your body's second heart. Now, I know that might sound dramatic, but stay with me, because this is where everything starts to make sense. Your heart pumps blood down to your legs easily enough. Gravity helps with that. But getting that blood back up from your feet, your ankles, your lower legs, that's a much harder job. Your heart can't do it alone, especially when you're sitting, standing, or moving slowly. That's where the soleus comes in. Every time this muscle contracts, every time it squeezes, it acts like a pump. It pushes blood upward, fighting against gravity, sending it back toward your heart. It reduces swelling. It boosts circulation. It keeps your legs feeling light and energized instead of heavy and tired. This isn't just about fitness. This is about how your body functions every single day. But here's the challenge. After 60, this powerful muscle often falls silent, and when it does, everything becomes harder. Walking feels more effortful. Standing leaves you feeling drained. Your ankles might swell by the afternoon. You might feel unsteady on your feet, like your legs just aren't supporting you the way they used to. And it's not your fault. It's not because you're lazy or because you've given up. It's because modern life, sitting in chairs, wearing cushioned shoes, moving less throughout the day, allows this muscle to fall asleep. Now, let me be clear about something. When I say asleep, I don't mean it's gone. I don't mean it's too late. I mean it's dormant. It's waiting. It's like a car engine that's been sitting in the garage for months. It's still there, still capable. It just needs someone to turn the key. And the best part? You can wake it up right at home, safely and without special equipment. No gym membership required, no complicated routines. Just a simple, intentional movement that takes less time than it takes to brush your teeth. So, let me show you how. This is your first step, literally and figuratively, toward reactivating your body's second heart. And it all starts from a place of complete safety and comfort, sitting in a chair. This movement is called the seated heel raise, and even though it looks almost too simple to matter, I promise you, this is where real change begins, because buried in this small movement is a signal from you to your body that says, "Wake up, I need you, let's work together again." If you've ever felt your legs swell by the afternoon, or if you've noticed how hard it can be to stand up from your chair without wobbling a little, this movement is for you. This is your turning point. Here's how to do it. Sit tall in a sturdy chair, something stable, not a stool or anything with wheels. Place your feet flat on the floor, about hip width apart, with your knees forming a comfortable right angle. Rest your hands gently on top of your knees. Or, if you'd like a little extra challenge, you can hold 2 small water bottles for light added pressure. Now, keep the balls of your feet, that's the front part of your foot, just behind your toes, pressed firmly into the floor. From here, slowly lift both heels as high as you comfortably can. You should feel a gentle squeeze in the back of your lower legs, right above your ankles. Don't rush. This isn't about speed, it's about control. It's about intention. Pause at the top for a moment, just 1 or 2 seconds, and really feel that contraction. Feel your muscles working. Then, slowly lower your heels back down to the floor. Don't just drop them. Lower them with the same control you used to lift them, as if you're placing something delicate and precious back on the ground. Repeat this movement between 10 and 15 times. Once in the morning, once in the evening if you'd like. That's it. 2 minutes, maybe less. Now, I know what you might be thinking. That's it? That's the big secret? And I understand. It doesn't look like much, but let me explain what's actually happening inside your body when you do this. Each time you lift your heel and squeeze that muscle, you're doing more than just moving your foot. You're activating the soleus. You're turning on that pump. And as it contracts, it pushes blood and fluid that's been pooling in your lower legs back up toward your heart. This does a few incredible things. First, it reduces swelling and that heavy, tired feeling in your legs. Second, it improves circulation throughout your entire body, which means more oxygen, more energy, better heart health. And third, and this is the part people don't talk about enough, it strengthens the nerve connection between your lower legs and your brain. That connection is what allows you to feel where your feet are in space. It's what helps you react quickly if you start to stumble. It's what gives you confidence when you stand, walk, or move through your day. Within a few weeks of doing this simple movement consistently, people often report that their legs feel lighter. They have more energy during the day. The swelling around their ankles goes down, and they feel more connected to the ground beneath them when they walk. This isn't magic. It's just your body remembering what it was designed to do. Now, before we move forward, I do need to mention a few important safety notes. This movement is very gentle and safe for most people, but if you have a recent blood clot, something called a DVT, or if you have severe varicose veins that cause pain, or if you're experiencing any sharp or sudden calf pain, please talk to your doctor before trying this. Your safety always comes first. Always. But for most of you watching, this is one of the safest, most effective ways to start rebuilding strength and circulation from the ground up. And the beauty of it is that you can do it while you're watching TV, while you're reading, while you're having your morning coffee. You don't need to carve out extra time. You don't need to change your clothes or leave your house. You just need 2 minutes and the willingness to show up for yourself. So that's step 1. You've just awakened your second heart. You've sent a signal deep into your lower legs that strength is still possible, that your body is still capable, that you're not done yet. But we're not stopping here. Because now that we've woken up that muscle while you're seated and safe, it's time to take that same power and bring it into standing. This is where gravity becomes your ally. This is where balance training truly begins. And this is where you start to reclaim the quiet confidence that comes from knowing your legs will hold you steady, no matter what. That second movement is called the standing calf raise. And if the seated version was about waking up your second heart, this version is about teaching it how to work in the real world. When you're upright, when you're carrying your full body weight, when balance and strength have to work together. There's a moment that happens in everyday life. One that tells you more about your body than almost anything else. It's the split second when you stand up from your chair and you feel just a little unsure. Maybe there's a slight sway. Maybe you instinctively reach for the armrest or the wall. Maybe you hesitate before taking that first step. And in that moment, you might tell yourself, well, that's just aging. That's just how it is now. But I want you to hear me when I say this. It doesn't have to be that way. Because buried within your lower legs is a force that was designed to push back against gravity itself. A system that, when it's awake and active, can bring back that steady, grounded feeling you used to have every time you stood tall. This isn't about building bulky muscles or training like an athlete. This is about teaching your balance system to switch on automatically when you need it most. When you're standing at the counter making breakfast, when you're reaching into the cupboard, when you're walking across an uneven surface. In the first movement, we woke up the soleus, that deep endurance muscle. Now, we're going to engage both that muscle and its partner, the gastrocnemius. Together, they form your complete lower leg engine. And when they're both working, magic happens. Here's how to do it safely. Stand facing something sturdy, a kitchen counter, a heavy chair, a wall, something that won't move if you lean on it. Place both hands lightly on that surface. You're not holding on for dear life. You're just resting your hands there for a little extra confidence and stability. Position your feet about hip-width apart, toes pointing straight ahead. Feel your weight distributed evenly across both feet. Now, shift your weight just slightly forward, toward the balls of your feet. From here, slowly lift both heels off the ground. Rise up as high as you comfortably can, as if you're trying to reach something on a high shelf. Pause at the top. Feel your calf muscles activate. Feel them supporting your entire body weight. And then, here's the key part. Slowly lower your heels back down to the floor with complete control. Imagine you're placing something fragile and precious on a shelf. No dropping, no collapsing, just smooth, controlled movement all the way down. That's one repetition. Aim for 10 to 15. And if you'd like, you can do this twice a day. Once in the morning to wake your legs up, and once in the evening to help drain any swelling and reset your balance system before bed. Now, let me tell you, what's happening beneath the surface? When you rise up onto the balls of your feet like this, you're not just strengthening muscles. You're training something called proprioception. Proprioception is your body's ability to sense where it is in space. It's what tells your brain, my left foot is here, my right knee is bent this much. I'm leaning slightly forward. And the better your proprioception, the steadier you feel. The quicker you can catch yourself if you start to stumble. The more automatic your balance becomes. Every time you rise up and lower down with control, you're training the nerves around your ankles, knees, and hips to communicate more clearly with your brain. You're building micro-control. You're creating a foundation of stability that doesn't just support your weight. It supports your entire life. And unlike walking, which only uses these muscles partially and often in the same repetitive pattern, this movement puts them through their full range. It builds strength that lasts. It pumps stagnant blood and fluid from your feet back toward your heart. It sends a powerful message to your nervous system. I am stable, I am strong, I am in control. This is how you teach your body to trust itself again. Now, before we move deeper, I need to share a few important safety considerations. This standing movement is safe for most people, but if you've recently had foot or ankle surgery, if you experience dizziness when you stand, or if you have severe balance issues and are at risk of falling even with support, then please stick with the seated version we learned first. There's no shame in starting where you are. Progress isn't about doing the hardest version. It's about doing the right version for your body, right now, today. And if you felt something shift during that movement, even just a small awareness of muscles you haven't felt in years, that's real progress. That's your body waking up. With each deliberate lift and lower, you're not just exercising, you're rebuilding a relationship with your own strength. You're saying to your body, I am not fragile. I am reclaiming what's mine. But we're not done yet, because there's an even deeper layer to this, a secret level that most people never train, and that might be the missing key to your lifelong stability. Let me ask you something. When do you feel most unsteady? Is it when you're walking in a straight line on flat ground? Probably not. It's in those small, unexpected moments, when you shift your weight to put on a sock, when you step up onto a curb, when you reach across your body to grab something from a shelf. Those are the moments when your body has to make split-second decisions. And those decisions aren't made by your big, visible muscles. They're made by a deeper system, one that most people's bodies have forgotten how to use. That's where this third movement comes in. It's called the bent knee calf raise. And while it might look similar to what we just did, it works in a completely different way. This is where we access the soleus muscle in its purest form, as your body's true postural guardian. Here's the fascinating part. When your knee is straight, like in the standing calf raise we just learned, your body naturally recruits the gastrocnemius. That's the larger, more visible calf muscle. It's strong, it's helpful, but it's built for power and speed, not endurance. But when you bend your knee, you take that muscle out of the equation. And suddenly, your soleus, that deep, tireless engine, has to do all the work. Why does this matter? Because the soleus is packed with what scientists call slow-twitch muscle fibers. These are the fibers designed for long-duration support. They resist fatigue, they're critical for maintaining your ankle and knee alignment, and they're directly connected to your balance control system. Most people over 60 have a soleus that's been dormant for years, maybe even decades. It's not weak, it's just forgotten. This movement is how we remind your nervous system. This muscle is still here, it's still powerful, and it's ready to hold me steady. Let me show you how to do this safely and effectively. Stand behind a sturdy chair or countertop, just like before. Hold on lightly for balance. Now, shift your weight onto your right leg, and lift your left foot just an inch or so off the floor behind you. Here's where the magic happens. Slightly bend your right knee, not a deep squat, just a soft, athletic bend. Maybe 20 to 30 degrees if we're being technical, but really, you just want to feel that your knee isn't locked. From this position, slowly lift your right heel as high as you comfortably can. And here's what you'll notice immediately. The activation feels different. It's deeper. It's closer to your ankle than before. That's your soleus waking up. Pause at the top for a moment, feel that squeeze. Then slowly lower your heel back to the floor with full control. That's 1 repetition. Aim for 8 to 12 reps on your right leg, then switch and do the same thing on your left. And remember, keep that knee slightly bent the entire time. That's what keeps the work in the deep muscle, in the postural muscle, in the muscle that supports you through all of life's little unexpected moments. Now, I'll be honest with you. This movement is harder than the first two. It requires more focus, more control, and more patience. If you find it too challenging at first, that's completely okay. You can practice it with both feet on the ground and just a minimal lift until you build more confidence. But if you're able to do it, even just a few repetitions on each side, you're doing something most people never even learn about, let alone practice. You're activating a hidden balance system, a muscle that's been silently supporting your posture since childhood, and that may be the missing link to graceful, independent movement in your later years. This isn't just about your legs, it's about how you move through life, with stability, with confidence, with control. So, let's pause for a moment and talk about the bigger picture here. What's really happening when you do these 3 movements? Why do they work when walking alone sometimes isn't enough? It all comes down to something beautifully simple: circulation, connection, and control. First, circulation. Every time your soleus contracts, it pushes blood that's been pooling in your lower legs back up toward your heart. This improves oxygen delivery throughout your entire body. It reduces swelling. It eases that heavy, tired feeling in your legs. And over time, it supports better heart health and overall cardiovascular function. Think of it as giving your heart a helper, a partner that takes some of the load off and keeps things flowing smoothly. Second, connection. These movements strengthen the communication between your muscles and your brain. They wake up nerve pathways that may have grown quiet over the years. And when those pathways are active, your body becomes more responsive. You react faster to changes in terrain. You catch yourself more easily if you start to wobble. You move with more awareness and precision. And third, control. These exercises train your body to handle its own weight with grace. They build what I call muscle intelligence, the ability to move smoothly, deliberately, and safely without having to think about every single step. When you combine all 3 of these elements, circulation, connection, and control, something remarkable starts to happen. People begin to notice changes, real, tangible improvements in their daily lives. Now, I want to be realistic with you. You're not going to do these exercises once and suddenly feel 20 years younger. That's not how the body works. But if you practice these movements consistently, even just a few times a week, you'll start noticing shifts within 2 to 4 weeks. The first thing most people report is that their legs feel lighter. That heavy dragging sensation that used to show up by afternoon starts to fade. Then they notice that the swelling around their ankles decreases. Their shoes fit more comfortably by the end of the day. Next comes balance. They realize they're not reaching for the wall or the counter as often when they stand up. They feel more stable when they're walking on uneven ground or going up and down stairs. There's a quiet confidence that returns, a sense of trust in their own body. And then there's energy. Because when your circulation improves, your entire system works more efficiently. You don't tire as easily. You have more stamina for the activities you enjoy. You feel more alive from the ground up. These aren't dramatic transformations. They're subtle shifts that add up to a completely different experience of aging. I remember the story of a woman I once knew. We'll call her Margaret. She was in her early 70s, and she'd always been active. She walked every morning without fail, but over the previous year, she'd started feeling increasingly unsteady. She was afraid of falling. She'd given up activities she loved because she didn't trust her legs anymore. When she learned about these exercises, she was skeptical. How can something so simple make a difference? She asked. But she tried them anyway. Just 2 minutes a day, starting with the seated version. Within 3 weeks, she told me she felt like someone had turned the lights back on in her legs. That's how she described it. Like her legs had been in the dark, and suddenly they could see again. Now, I'm not saying this will be everyone's experience. Everyone's body is different. But Margaret's story isn't unique. It's one of many. And the common thread is always the same. Small, consistent movement creates real change. So, how do you make this sustainable? How do you turn these movements from something you try once into a lasting habit? The answer is simpler than you might think. You pair them with something you already do every single day. Maybe you do the seated heel raises while you're having your morning coffee. Maybe you do the standing version while you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or while you're brushing your teeth. Maybe you practice the bent knee version during a commercial break while you're watching your favorite show. The key isn't perfection, the key is consistency. 2 minutes a day, that's all you need. And when you tie it to an existing habit, it stops being exercise and starts being just part of what you do. You're not just moving, you're maintaining your independence, you're protecting your future, you're investing in yourself. But here's something important I need to share with you. Even the best exercises in the world can't do their job if we're unknowingly working against them in our daily lives. So, let's talk about a few common habits that might be quietly undermining your progress, and simple ways to fix them. First, prolonged sitting. I know, sitting is comfortable. And I'm not saying you should never sit. But when you sit for hours at a time without moving, blood and fluid pool in your lower legs. Your muscles turn off. Your circulation slows to a crawl. The fix? Set a gentle reminder to stand up and move every hour. Even just 30 seconds of walking in place or doing a few heel raises can make a tremendous difference. Second, tight or constrictive footwear. Shoes that squeeze your feet or restrict your ankle movement prevent your muscles from working naturally. They limit circulation and weaken the very muscles we're trying to strengthen. The fix? Choose shoes with a wide toe box and flexible soles when you can. Let your feet move. Let your ankles flex. Give your body room to do what it was designed to do. Third, dehydration. Your muscles need water to function properly. When you're even mildly dehydrated, your circulation suffers, your muscles fatigue more easily, and swelling gets worse. The fix is beautifully simple. Drink water throughout the day. Not all at once, just sips, regularly. Keep a glass nearby. Make it easy. And finally, one bonus tip: ankle circles. Throughout the day, whenever you think of it, rotate your ankles in slow circles. This gentle movement keeps fluid moving, maintains flexibility, and reinforces that brain-body connection we've been building. These small adjustments might not seem like much, but they protect the gains you're making with your exercises. They create an environment where your body can truly thrive. So now you know the science, you know the steps, you know the daily habits that support your progress. Let's pull it all together. This isn't really about exercise, is it? Not at the deepest level. It's about something much more profound. It's about recognizing that age doesn't mean decline. It means adaptation. It means awareness. It means choosing to show up for yourself even when the world tells you it's too late. Your body still has incredible capacity. The soleus muscle, your second heart, is still there, still powerful, still ready to support you. It's been waiting patiently all this time for you to remember it exists. And now you have, now you know. These 3 simple movements, seated, standing, and bent knee, aren't just exercises. They're a conversation with your body. They're a way of saying, I see you, I value you, I'm going to take care of you. And your body responds. It always does. with more energy, with better balance, with renewed strength and confidence. The truth is, you still have control, at any age. You can't stop time, but you can absolutely influence how you experience it. You can move with purpose. You can build strength. You can reclaim stability. This journey doesn't end at 60 or 70 or 80. It just changes. And sometimes the most powerful changes come from the smallest, most intentional actions. So, here's what I want you to remember as you move forward from today. 1. The soleus, your second heart, drives circulation and balance throughout your entire body. When it's active, everything works better. 2. Small, consistent movements rewire strength. You don't need hours at the gym. You just need 2 minutes a day and the willingness to be patient with yourself. 3. You still have control. Your body is still capable of remarkable things. Age brings wisdom, and part of that wisdom is learning to work with your body, not against it. You've just learned one of the most underrated secrets to staying strong after 60, and it starts from the ground up. If this helped you feel more confident about your body and your movement, don't keep it to yourself. Hit that like button so more people over 60 can discover this powerful exercise. Subscribe for more evidence-based wellness guidance designed specifically for this stage of life. And leave a comment below telling us, I'm reactivating my second heart. Because together, we're proving that aging isn't about slowing down. It's about waking up the strength that's been there all along. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for trusting yourself enough to try something new. And thank you for being part of a community that believes wellness, strength, and independence are possible at every age. Now go ahead. Take 2 minutes today and wake up that second heart. Your body is ready, and I believe in you. Stay steady. Stay strong. And remember, you're not losing power. You're just learning to use it differently.